So without further delay, once again, thank you for joining us this morning. I am hugely excited about where this is going to go, and it's my privilege to invite Lorin to come and give her story.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Lorin, Breck's mom. When I was asked to write down what I was going to say, it was difficult for me because I don't normally write what I say, I just talk. But because there were 4 forces, we wanted to be consistent throughout each of the launches. And I hope I can read, in this dark room with my bad eyes. I cannot remember the first time that I saw Leicestershire Police's film, Kaylee's Love Story. But that time and every other, I get the chills when I see it. And it made me cry when I was writing about her. Kaylee was groomed online over a year after Breck's tragedy. And in my heart of hearts, I feel that if Kaylee and her friends had learned about the messages through Breck's story, that maybe Kaylee and her friends would have been able to make different decisions and do different things, and Kaylee might have been able to stay alive. We use Breck's name with some very simple rules when we teach at school, using simple things so that they don't just shut down. For instance, the B is be aware. Be aware of the dangers that young people face online, and we need them to believe. We need them to understand that we're not just making it up. These are actual real dangers. Breck wouldn't have believed that his intelligent self would have fallen for something like this. The R is for report. Report any concerns for yourself or others to parents, school, police, COP, or Childline. Breck's friends knew something wasn't quite right with the predator and his isolation of Breck, but they all thought someone else's parents knew, so they didn't report. They hadn't been taught where to go to report concerns. The E is for educate. Educate others and be empowered to do something about concerning or unusual behavior. Well, Breck and his friends at various schools hadn't been educated on grooming and exploitation. They were learning the simple rules that they learned back from primary, and they hadn't extended those sort of messages to what a healthy relationship looks like. So it's important that we all help educate our young people so they're empowered to make safer choices. The C is for communicate. Communicate concerns and don't hold them in, no matter what they are, however big or small. Breck did communicate with me early on, telling me about his friendship with this predator online. But once I forbade him from speaking to the predator, it went underground and became more dangerous. I think if the children communicated what they were worried about, maybe they would have come up with a plan to do something about Breck's behavior. The K is for know the signs. Know the signs of grooming and exploitation to keep yourself and others safe. Breck and his friends did not know these signs of control, manipulation, isolation, compliments, lies, gift giving, building relationships through shared interests, and making promises. We feel these simple rules could help young people to recognize the dangers. I remember when I was first doing police training sessions, and I always found those quite rewarding. I wanted to educate further afield with a film like Kaylee's Love Story. And the name of the film even came to me straight away, Breck's Last Game, because once he met up with the stranger online, it really was his last game. So in every presentation that I would give, I would mention my desire and hopes that someone or some force would be interested in pursuing the creation of a film that would show how easily grooming can occur when having fun online. Finally, when I was at an event in Cambridge, I spoke to somebody who had a contact at Leicestershire Police, and they were able to put me in contact with Matt Tapp. Matt and Simon Shuttleworth kindly met me at St. Pancras Station for a coffee to discuss the ins and outs of creating such a film. They then mentioned the cost of making this important film, and my heart sank. The Breck Foundation, with my great team behind me, I set it up 2 weeks after Breck died. We're doing well, but we didn't have the sort of funding to make a movie that we wanted that would show so effectively as the one has today. I felt pleased to have met those guys, but I felt a bit deflated, and there's never a day that goes by that I don't feel the pain of losing and missing Breck. I felt quite low. I then, a few weeks later, got a call from Matt Tapp saying that Leicestershire Police were interested in commissioning the film to help protect children from exploitation online. I was ecstatic, of course, in a weird way. To get excited about such things feels wrong because of the tragedy behind it. But I was very pleased, and I cannot thank all 4 forces enough, and especially Leicestershire Police, for pursuing this engaging method of reaching young people with life lessons. You were my heroes. There are so many lessons to learn within Breck's story, but it was important that we showed how easily grooming can occur. Breck was groomed online for over a year, and he met the predator online through friends from school. We need young people to be aware that friends of friends online are not the same as the real friendships they make through school. Breck considered this predator a friend because the predator had been gaming with some of the boys for up to 4 years, and he had been patient and subtle about building these relationships. The predator built this perilous relationship with Breck and the other boys through their shared interests, and in this case, that was gaming and computing. Breck would have been thrilled to have an intelligent and older mentor helping him to expand his own knowledge and skills. At the time, I felt that the predator was an older man, as he was so controlling and manipulative, even with me, telling me how to parent my son. So it is really important for young people to realize that not only can predators lie about their age, where they live, or who they are online, but also there can be predators who are a similar age to the victim. They are not always the stereotypical creepy old guy that I tried to warn Breck about. It is important also for us to remind everyone that boys can be groomed too. We hear with possibly a third of grooming cases being boys. They're just underreported cases. They're not reporting it as often as girls might. Breck's grooming came after all of the huge media attention with the poor girls in Rochdale and Rotherham who were being groomed by gangs for sex through offers of alcohol, drugs, and gifts to build false relationships. Breck's version at that time just wasn't the typical type of grooming that people had heard about in the news. And Breck's story shows that even regular schoolboys who are not considered vulnerable can make mistakes if not educated to recognize the signs of grooming and exploitation. I cannot thank everyone enough for their help, assistance, and support for the film. If it saves even one child's life or stops them from getting into harm's way, then we have all done our jobs. It is only through teamwork that we can make a real difference, making sure that we educate parents as well as the children. We need to have teachers on board teaching these life lessons at school, police understanding parents' concerns, and also we need the tech giants to be on board with this. We need everyone to work as a team to try to keep young people safe. May children take on the real life lessons from Breck's last game to better look after each other, keep safe, and reach their full potentials. We want to further educate young people so that they are empowered to make safer choices for themselves online. We want all young people to play virtual, live real, and we want them to ask themselves, do you really know who your online friends are? Thank you.